To assert a claim for false imprisonment, a plaintiff must prove that the defendant intentionally caused the plaintiff to be confined within a fixed set of boundaries without authority or consent. But what if the plaintiff's belief of confinement is unfounded, meaning it's unsupported by the facts? The Wisconsin Supreme Court considered this question in Herbst v. Wuennenberg. In September of 1974, Jason Herbst, Ronald Nadel, and Robert Ritholz were 3 volunteers in Madison, Wisconsin, who were seeking to verify that voters lived at the addresses listed on their voter registrations. To this end, they checked the names that were printed on mailboxes with the names on the registrations. During the afternoon, the group entered an apartment building owned by Carol Wuennenberg, who served as a city alderperson. While the group was checking the names on the mailboxes in the building's vestibule, Wuennenberg came in and asked what they were doing. When the group told her that they were purging voter lists for the Republican Party, Wuennenberg became upset and asked them to identify themselves, but they refused. She then asked them if they'd identify themselves to the police, which they agreed to do. Wuennenberg's husband then came into the vestibule, and Wuennenberg asked him to call the police. After the husband did so, Wuennenberg left the vestibule and stood outside the door, purportedly to block the group from leaving. However, Wuennenberg didn't threaten or intimidate the group, nor did the group attempt to leave. 5 minutes later, the police arrived and determined the group wasn't doing anything wrong. Subsequently, the group sued Wuennenberg in state circuit court for false imprisonment, malicious prosecution, and abuse of process. Following the group's presentation of evidence, Wuennenberg moved for a directed verdict, which the court granted as to malicious prosecution and abuse of process, but not false imprisonment. The jury then returned a special verdict against Wuennenberg and awarded damages. Wuennenberg appealed to the Wisconsin Supreme Court.